Oh, hey there. Sorry, didn't mean to be rude, but it has a lot to do with today's topic. So something we're going to talk about today is my next advantage. You know, we can't get started unless we got that, that energy drink on. You know me, got to have my one per day, and especially when I have a lot to do. I love these. Some people say they're unhealthy. To me, anything in moderation can be healthy. And this is one of those things I don't like to abuse. It's just my kind of little rule. Have one per day. And there's a lot of ways to do this. And actually our guest today is going to talk a little bit about this. And it's someone you've seen before. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that.
But we're going to jump right in and talk about metabolism. There's just so much information out there. I think with nutrition and exercise in general, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so great. And I think metabolism is one of those things that there's a lot of myths that surround it. So I just want to break it down so that we can have a better understanding. What is your metabolism? Your metabolism is all of the physical and chemical processes in the body that convert or use energy. And I like to use the word energy instead of calories because calories are energy. So it's all the physical and chemical processes in your body that convert or use energy. And that includes things like breathing, circulating blood, controlling your body temperature, contracting your muscles, digesting food and nutrients, eliminating waste, and functioning of your brain and nerves. So those are the things that your metabolism does. And I think a lot of us just want to think that our metabolism is what burns calories so we can lose weight. But it's so much more than that. So every cell in your body is a part of your metabolism, and we're burning energy even when we're sleeping. And I think that's important to remember because at the very end, I kind of want to tap on, we think that we aren't burning calories unless we're exercising. And so that if we eat something, we have to exercise it all off. And that's not how the currency of the system, of our body system works. So first myth I kind of want to debunk is that your metabolism slows down as you get older. It does, but research indicates that between the ages of 20 and 60, our metabolism actually just stalls. It doesn't slow. So between the ages of 20 and 60 years old, your metabolism just kind of stalls. And at 60, it decreases by about 1% every year. So it's not as slowing as we think it is. What's actually probably happening between 20 and 60 that's affecting people's metabolisms is excessive dieting, excessive cardio, and what was the other thing I wrote down? Not preserving or building muscle mass. That's probably the biggest one, actually. Those are the things that are going to affect your metabolism the most between the ages of 20 and 60. Age itself isn't really affecting your metabolism. It's your behaviors that are. So I joke a lot that muscle is the fountain of youth, but it actually really is. The more muscle you can have on your body, the more calories you will burn at rest. And that's really important between our 20s, 30s, 40s, as we approach that 60-year age where our metabolism will generally start to decline. If you have muscle on your frame, it's going to mitigate some of that decline. So the more muscle you have on your body, the more energy you burn. Muscle is the fountain of youth. Really, that should be our focus. I like to tell people that a lot, actually, because I think it's a mindset thing, a growth mindset instead of a limiting mindset. Even right now, when most of us, all of us, are in a calorie deficit, I'd still like you to think about how can I gain as much muscle as possible? Which, if you want to get into all the nuances of a calorie deficit, it's very hard to gain muscle in a calorie deficit. It can happen, especially if you're new, but over time that gets harder and harder. But even still, when we're sitting here in a calorie deficit, like I am right now, my food choices and my exercise choices, I am thinking in my mind most of the time, how is this going to help me build muscle? That's my top goal. If I'm focusing on building muscle, I will drop body fat. So there are 4 acronyms associated with the metabolism that I want to break down, and that's going to be the bulk of this call, and then we will wrap it up. Number 1 is your BMR, and you probably know what BMR stands for. It stands for basal metabolic rate. This indicates the calories you use simply to sustain everyday life and functions as I noted above. Things like breathing, circulating blood, digesting food, processing brain, and eliminating waste and all that stuff. So this is your BMR. If you were to lay down all day, not move, not eat or drink, you're still burning calories, energy, just to stay alive. Your BMR is the most calories you burn in a day. It's actually 70% of the calories you burn today is your BMR, just keeping you alive. And the best way to increase your BMR is to put more muscle on your body. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. So if you think about your body, if it's predominantly fat, it doesn't require a lot of energy to sustain fat. It requires a lot of energy to sustain muscle. So if you have more muscle on your body, you're going to increase your BMR. The first one's BMR. 70% of your calories burned today are your BMR. Protect your BMR at all costs. We damage our BMR from excessive dieting, excessive cardio, and not having enough muscle mass. Number 2 is NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the second highest number of calories you burn in a day. NEAT is unplanned exercise. It's getting out of bed in the morning. It's walking around the grocery store. It's walking into work. It's anything and everything in between, doing housework, yard work. That is non-exercise activity. As the second highest form of calories burned in a day, it comes in at 15%. So 70% is your BMR, 15% is your non-exercise activity. You can increase that by increasing the amount of time you spend in non-exercise activities, which is why I love walking so much, and which is why I encouraged everybody to spend the last week and the rest of their life walking, because it's just going to increase your calories that you burn in a day. I love to encourage people to park in the back of a parking lot, take the stairs. All these little things add up for your total daily movement and make it so that you are just burning more calories during the day. So that's number 2. We've got BMR 70%, NEAT 15%. Number 3 is called your TEF. It's the thermic effect of feeding. These are the calories you burn digesting food and absorbing nutrients from that food. Some food requires more energy to digest than others. This would be protein. Protein requires more energy from your body to digest it. So don't be mistaken, protein doesn't increase your metabolism. It just requires more energy to process through your body. That's why it is often highly recommended that we eat when we're trying to lose weight or trying to drop body fat, because it requires more work. It requires more work for your body to digest it, and it helps you preserve your muscle mass and build more muscle mass. And like, protein is highly touted, and I think a lot of people are like, is protein really as important as everyone says it is? It actually really is. There are not a lot of things that the food, fitness, nutrition industry gets right, because most of it's usually backed by someone trying to sell you a product. But protein is as important as everyone says it is. Now, that being said, there's really high quality places to get your protein, right? I just laugh. I always laugh when people are like, I'm eating high protein ice cream. And I'm like, gross. Why would you eat high protein ice cream? Get your protein from places that actually has protein instead of trying to get it from anything and everything. Yes, it's important, but also like, let's just be cool about it. Okay. So that's the thermic effect of eating. This is the third highest number of calories you burn in a day, coming in at 10%. 10% of your calories burned today are going to be just in the processing of your food and its nutrients. The last acronym, number 4, is called EAT, your exercise activity thermogenesis. That's right. Your daily planned exercise, your 1 hour of working out today, is the least amount of calories you will burn today, and it comes in at a whopping 5% of the calories you will burn today. We put so much stock in our workouts, and we'll go to the gym and kill it for an hour and then do nothing the rest of the day. That is kind of backwards thinking. Your workouts are important. You should prioritize them as a way to help build your muscle or maintain the muscle that you have, but they burn the least amount of calories for you today. You're better off parking in the back of the parking lot, taking a walk to actually increase calories burned. Now, to increase body composition, you're going to need to go work out. So use those 5% that you're burning in that workout, but don't use those workouts as I'm trying to eat off that burger that I shouldn't have had, or that piece of cake. It's not how it works. So that's number 4, the least number of calories you burn in a day. So those are the 4 biggest contributing factors to your metabolism. Your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, the calories you burn just staying alive. Your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, that's movement today. Get up, move, do something. Even fidgeting counts, which drives my husband crazy because I shake like an entire table when we're eating. I actually don't really do it on purpose, it just happens. But non-exercise activity. 3rd, thermic effective eating. So eat your protein, eat the foods that take longer to digest. They actually keep you feeling fuller longer also, but it's gonna just increase the amount of calories you burn in a day. And number 4 is your workouts. Let's see here. I think, so those are the 4 big things I wanted to talk about with metabolism. Moving, finding ways to increase how much you're moving through the day. You can affect the speed of your metabolism by your actions and your diet. So as I mentioned above, excessive dieting is really harmful to a metabolism. And the reason is you're basically sending, right now we're all in a calorie deficit, and we're sending a message to our body that we need it to figure out how to function and do everything that it's required to do, but on a smaller number of calories, less energy. So if we sit in this phase for too long, it really pisses your metabolism off, and it will stop giving you what you want. So that's why if you've done the last couple challenges with me, I'm really adamant about making sure that you know that you can commit to a calorie deficit for a certain period of time, but there is no way you should be trying to diet the entire year. That's just going to kill your metabolism. So stop trying to do that. Use these 8 weeks. I usually tell people not a lot more than 12 weeks, depending on biofeedback. Get as much out of it as you can. So when you enter a diet phase, commit to the diet phase, and then get out when it's over. You might not accomplish all of your goals in one diet phase. And this is where people go wrong a lot, is because they'll be like, but I'm not done. I've got just 5 more pounds, so I'm going to hang on. But your metabolism doesn't care about those 5 more pounds. It cares about staying alive. So it's going to start to down-regulate, slow down to accomplish all that it needs to accomplish, but on less calories. And so that's really damaging to your metabolism. So using diet phases as phases, and then getting out of them. Maintenance is where we should spend most of a year, not in a diet phase. So we'll talk more about that later, but it's really important for metabolic health to make sure that you're not sitting in a diet too long. There are lots of things that you might start to notice if you do. Some I've already mentioned, but other, it's called biofeedback, and it becomes negative biofeedback when you sit in a diet too long. These can be things like hangry. You're hangry all the time. You have low energy for everything, including your workouts. Your recovery is slower. Hair loss, inconsistent or loss of menstrual cycles in women, low sex drive in men and women, more intense food cravings. Your sleep will start to be impacted. You'll experience a drop in lean body mass because your body doesn't need muscle to stay alive. It needs fat. Fat stores more energy. So if you sit in a diet phase too long, what you can start to see is that your muscles, you're getting fatter. You're hanging on to your fat mass and not your muscle mass. And a lot of women do this. I did it for a long, long time. Slower recovery from workouts. I said that one. Cold all the time, body temperature. You might be cold. I'm actually freezing right now. We've been in this deficit, but I'm cold all the time. Like never get warm. And that's something that my body, I think, just has a really hard time with when I hit a deficit, is my body temperature. But that's biofeedback and things that should not be ignored. That's not when it's time to be like, well, guess I just have to dive deeper into this deficit to get the work done. That's your body saying, I'm done giving you what you want in this phase. You should get out, or else I'm just going to keep sending you this negative biofeedback. So the last point I wanted to make is what I touched on earlier, is that you really can't out exercise a bad diet. So I call it damage control. And I think it happens to most people on the weekends. We do really good, quote unquote, Monday through Friday afternoon. And then Friday afternoon, evening, we're like, you know what, I've done so good. I deserve to just loosen up this weekend. And then we loosen up, and in between Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, we've basically undone any good we did Monday through Friday afternoon, and we are now in damage control cycle. So Monday morning we show up and we're in damage control again. And that's when I say that it's like really important to focus on these diet phases, use them to get as much out of them as you can, and then get out of them. Because if we hit these cycles of constant damage control every Monday morning, you cannot out-work out a bad diet. You can't show up Monday and be like, well, I got to undo all the work I did Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. It just doesn't work out that way. Weekends count, even in a deficit. Weekends always count. Every weekend can't be a special occasion, because then you really do create this vicious cycle, and your diet phase isn't working for you how it should be, and you might as well just stop trying. I mean, that's the truth of it. Like, if you're not going to actually commit to it, you might as well just kind of stop, because then you're just going to enter this nonstop yo-yo up and down. I've tried everything and it's not working. And it's like, yeah, but you have to be really consistent with it. So you can't out-work out your bad diet. Make sure that you're eating really great foods, because it's only going to help your metabolism, especially when you're in a deficit. And that is all I have, you guys. Short and sweet today. Do you have any questions about metabolism? If so, fire away. If not, be on your way.
All right, so it's not perfect, but it's better. You know, you could probably wash the sheets and stuff, but I got other things to do right now. But the whole point is all that moving is going to add up throughout the day. It's something that you can do, is just make sure you're constantly moving. If you're just sitting there watching TV, I mean, try and be fidgety, do something. Like, that's what I tend to do, is get up and down a lot. Just kind of thinking that, hey, I'm kind of idle. You know, you may be wondering, well, how many calories did you burn? I have no idea. And is my watch correct? No. The way you kind of figure out how your need's helping you is when you're able to eat more calories and keep the same physique. It's finding maintenance. It's finding those things and habits and patterns that keep you at the same physique. So that takes time. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace out.